Hello friends, Koolio here and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we are checking out the official launch for World of Dragoness. Now the game is currently only available in Southeast Asia and you do need a VPN in order to download and log into the game. However, once you've actually logged into the game, you can go ahead and turn off your VPN. But it did take me quite a long time to find like a decent VPN to even download and install the game. But if you guys are interested in checking the game out, I will have a link down below for you guys to download, and it will have a guide as well for you guys to go ahead and install the game. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more mobile gaming videos coming very soon. Now, World of Dragoness, I have to say, is probably one of the best combats that we've ever experienced in a mobile MMO. Now, it does have auto questing, it does have auto combat. However, there is a lot of things in this game where the game will not let you use auto combat, like PvP. There's certain boss dungeons and stuff like that where auto combat is actually turned off, like when you're going through the story. And I gotta say, it really does have amazing combat in this game. What I actually want to go ahead and show you guys is the skills. Now, you actually have two different weapons you can equip and swap between when you're in combat. For me, I picked the Ranger. I've got a longbow and I've got a crossbow. Now, when I'm playing and going through the game, I can kind of swap between the two of them depending on kind of how I want to handle certain situations. For the crossbow, a lot of it I've noticed is kind of moving towards the enemy, kind of not really physical damage, but a lot more melee range attacks with it, which is kind of like mid-range. And then I've got my longbow, which is long range. Now, on top of that, you've also got your basic active abilities and then your chain combo abilities. Now, when you're playing through the game, you're doing combat and you're fighting and stuff like that, you're going to fill up a chain bar, like a chain energy bar. Once it's filled up, you enter into sort of a berserk mode where you can then go ahead and start using your chain abilities, which are more significantly powerful abilities and do a lot of really great stuff. So you can go ahead and see some of the animations. They do a lot of damage and they're a ton of fun. Now, on top of that, you've also got like a dodge ability. You've got one where like if you get knocked on the ground, you can kind of get back up. You have another one where if you get knocked up into the air, you can kind of use that to your advantage to then attack the enemy. There's a lot of different combos and attacks for all of the characters and they all play completely differently. On top of that, you've also got your role abilities. Now, you can actually decide kind of how you want to play your character, specifically if you're going to dungeons with groups. For her, I've got a offensive role and I've got a support role. Now, depending on which ones I currently have equipped on here, I can actually kind of change. It'll give me a new active ability and new passive abilities that I can have equipped when I go into dungeons. Right now, I've got the Spirit Bless one, which recovers HP of the allies within range. And for my passive one, I've got the Force Blessing, which reduces cooldown of all of my skills. But I'm actually going to be more of an attack-focused character. So with this one, I've got Wise of the Owl, increases your critical damage temporarily. And then for my passive ability, I've got Eagle's Blashing, increases critical rate when attacked. Now, one of the most important things in this game is acquiring skill points, which you can then use to upgrade certain abilities. Now, you can see all of my crossbow abilities. They're around level 5. I haven't really been using my crossbow because I love my long-range abilities for my longbow. So I can go ahead and spend my skill points to then go ahead and upgrade these. Now, your skills cannot go higher than the level of your character, so I've got all of mine at level 12. But you can actually get quite a lot of these skill points as you're playing through the game and going through your daily dungeons. Now, what we're going to do in today's video is we're actually going to go ahead and jump over to a dungeon so I can show you guys kind of how combat works. Now, I've already run through the Abyss dungeon twice today. The Ancient Catacombs gives you a ton of skill points, so this is something you're going to want to come through every single day to make sure that you are getting your skill points to upgrade your character. We're going to go ahead and jump into the special dungeon, the Sparta Gobble. This is my first time running into it, so I don't know what to expect. But a lot of these dungeons you're going to run into, you can go ahead and turn on auto combat. If you want to just go ahead and kind of rush through a lot of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have auto combat turned on for now, so you guys can see what the auto combat kind of looks like. And then when we encounter the boss, or once we get kind of towards the end of this dungeon, I'll go ahead and turn on manual gameplay. But this will give me a chance to kind of talk a little bit more about the game. Now, one of the things I actually really do like about this game, and I feel like they kind of nailed it, is the user interface. I feel like is very minimalistic, but very usable. Like, they do a pretty good job. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to user interfaces for these mobile MMOs. If it's too cluttered, if there's too much stuff going on, I will not play the game. I can't stand it. So I am glad that the user interface in this one actually looks good. It's functional. I like the way, you know, it's good. Thank you. Good user interface. Obviously, I hope one day we'll get the chance to be able to do some, you know, customization for our user interfaces, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So here we go. We're going through combat, taking down these goblins, getting a bunch of experience points for our character, seeing a couple of different combos. Now, my energy bar next to my attack is going to activate now, which will then activate my chain skills. And so in order to activate a chain skill, you use the main active ability, which will then unlock the chain ability. So you can see I'm using a couple of more powerful abilities for this. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go ahead and turn off autoplay, and I'm gonna go ahead and fight myself. You actually do have to aim and point your character in the direction that you need to fire the abilities. So if I also wanted to swap over to my crossbow, you can kind of see it's sort of mid-range, but also at the same time kind of like melee combat. It's interesting, different gameplay styles between the crossbow and the longbow. So, oh gosh, I need to. Oh, I got my abilities activated. Go ahead and use this. Take down a bunch of enemies. And let's take on the boss. Ooh, this guy's got kind of a lot of health going on right now, so. Ooh, I got knocked up, and I can go ahead and use my evasion skill. Ooh, I did not dodge in time, but I can use that a bit. So you can see, like, I got knocked down. I can go ahead and use an ability to kind of get back up. I got one where I got knocked up into the air, so I can go ahead and use that to kind of get back on my feet. The game does have auto potion use as well, so you can kind of focus on the combat itself, but once you drop, I think you can kind of set it up in the options as well, but I think for me, I've at like 50%. If I get around 50%, it'll go ahead and use a potion. So we've completed that level. I get scored on how well I do, and then I got 8,603 experience points, which I believe I just hit level 13. And yep, we are now level 13. So there are a couple of other things I want to show you guys. There's this interesting smelting system, which I do like because as you get new weapons, you're not necessarily kind of upgrading the weapon itself, but there is some upgrades that you can do for your weapons. But this leveling up, this smelting system right here kind of lets you like upgrade specific stats for certain things. For example, the armor, if I go ahead and use this, I have an 88% chance of success rate. Enhancement, my max HP, critical, and decreased range HP. So it's kind of like something that helps you long-term to upgrade your characters. And so as you're swapping gear in and out, even if you get a gear that's not really upgraded all the way, at least you've got some bonuses to kind of back you up while you're kind of working on those new weapons. So I'll go ahead and upgrade a couple of these, increase my overall combat power. My daily missions have been completed. A couple of other things I want to talk about is the mounts in the game. The game will actually give you this mount completely for free right at the beginning, the tricycle, which is really funny. But there is actually a gacha system in this game where you can buy tickets using the red rubies, the red diamonds the game gives you to summon for mount pieces. Once you've gotten a certain amount of mount pieces, you can go ahead and summon for mounts. And there are some pretty dang cool mounts in this game. Like that looks absolutely crazy. There's also costumes in this game. Costumes seem to play a pretty important role in the overall monetization of this game. Now, you can use summoning tickets to summon for these pieces. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about this because it does kind of look like some of the costumes do give you stat bonuses, but I don't know if it's possible or how easy it is to unlock these. It does show right here that you can get this powder that you can use in exchange for certain items. I'm not exactly sure where to get the powder, and kind of tapping on it doesn't really tell me too much about where I can get it. I'm hoping this is sort of like a secondary thing for free-to-play players when we get to the end game to be able to start unlocking some of these costume pieces for free. Not 100% sure on that, so do not quote me on it. But there you guys go, kind of a quick look at at World of Dragoness, which is really, really popular. Like there is so many people playing right now. There's actually queues to get into the game. I think I was like in 100 when I was trying to get this video ready. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And again, if you guys enjoy it, hit the like button. And if you guys want to see more videos for World of Dragoness, let me know down below. Okay, friends, I'll see you next time.